Assalamu alaikum dear students. Right now I'm going to tell you about and I'm also going to explain you chapter 21, which is titled as departing. Departing means getting separated and it is a situation of breakup when Mistress Gordon means wife of Squire Gordon is going to sell all the things like Bedwick Park with the horses. Okay, so it is that's why it is very emotional because they all are going to break up and things are going to be sold. So I would be telling you the whole of the chapter, taking some chunks of the stories with the sequence as chronologically they are arranged in the story. And if you would go through them that way, it would be easy for you to understand the whole story. How the story starts? The story starts as our mistress was ill, the doctor was often at the house, and the master looked grave and anxious. So means it is a situation when Mistress Gordon means she is very sick, she is terribly sick, and her doctor usually visits her at the house and then about her condition. Mr. Gordon means Esquire Gordon is very serious, is very anxious, and then we heard that she must leave her home at once and go to a warm country for 2 or 3 years. So now it is decided that she should be transferred. She should go to a warm country for for 2 3 years. So it is decided that way. And what happens in the next scene? The master began directly to make arrangements for breaking up the establishment and leaving England. So it is now decided that they are going to leave England and then they are going to settle somewhere else. And it is also, I could say, assumed that they have some financial challenges. That's why they are going to sell all the things. So it is also decided. Okay, not decided, but the situation goes with them. Anyway, in the fourth scene, what happens? The first of the party who went were Miss Jessie and Flora with their governess. They came to bid us goodbye. Now it is a situation when two of the doctors of Mr. Gordon are going to say goodbye to the horses because it is an autobiographical novel where a horse is telling a story or telling something about himself. So it is like that. Okay, they hugged poor Mary Legs. Mary Legs is a horse. They hugged poor Mary Legs like an old friend. So it is a situation that they are very attached to each other and they are saying goodbye to each other. So it is very emotional because of such scenes in the story. Okay, in the fifth scene, what happens? Then we heard what had been arranged for us. Master had sold Ginger and me to his old friend. So now the situation is that way that Black Beauty and Ginger is also a horse, are sold to somebody who is very old friend to Esquire Gordon. Okay, so they are sold to him. The Earl of W. The main is the Earl of W. So he is going to buy all the things, especially the horses too. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you about the next of it, where Mary Legs means the horse had given to the vicar. Vicar is somebody whom Mary Legs is sold. Okay. Now in the next scene, what happens? The evening before they left, the master came into the stable to give some directions and to give his horses the last bait. So now the situation is that way. Master, like a Scott Gordon, in the evening moments has come to the stable, means the point of or the place of the horses where horses are held. So he has come to that point, and he's given some directions. That directions means some instructions, some orders, some sort of advices. So it is about that, and to give his horses the last pet. Pet means uh, to to give to give warmly love to something that is pet. Pet in general means to uh, you could say to to give very loving hint to the horses or something like that, and it is very often and we have seen people warmly you could say taking their hands on the back of the horses and donkeys to give them love, and it that way Mr. Gordon is doing with the horses, and it is the final and emotional part when he's you could say getting separated from the horses. Okay, in the next scene, what happens? It is like that, means in the seventh scene. Okay, have you decided what to do, John? Means now master is asking John. John is somebody who is coach. Okay, who is coach to the horses and trains the horses. So he's been asked, and he answers no. Means he's asking him that what's means what are you going to do right now? We are going to sell the things. What's your job? So John says, no sir, I have made up my mind that if I could get a situation with some first rate cold breaker and horse trainer. So now John has decided that he would firstly try to find a job of cold breaker. Cold breaker is also a job of training horses and horse trainer. So he's trying to get a job of that. Okay, that it would be right thing for me means he feels that it would be a good job for me. Many young animals are frightened and spoiled by wrong treatment, which need not to be. Means he feels that there are many animals which are mistreated by different, you could say, people, as we studied the same thing in chapter 20, where you could say Carter, flogs and beats the horses unmercifully without any reason, and put in too much bricks on the cart, and tries to beat the horse, and not tries but even he beats the horses harshly and tries to get the cart move. So that way he's thinking this situation. Okay. Okay. By wrong treatment which need not be if the right man took them in hand. So he's thinking that he should choose this job because this suits him, and then he can could say deal with animals mercifully. I don't know. It is the eighth sin. Okay. I don't know a man anywhere said, Master, that I should think so suitably for it as yourself. So means it is a situation they are negotiating the things that who thinks this way, and means who keeps sympathy regarding the animals. So they are just talking, means this is a part of their negotiation, John and Mr. Gordon. Okay. Now in the ninth scene, what happens? Master gave John the name and address, and then he thanked him for his long and faithful service. So now the situation is that way, that Master means Squire Gordon, you could say, gave John the name, means the name of the man whom the things are sold, and address of his house, and then he thanked him for his long and faithful service. Like as John was working for Squire Gordon, now things are totally sold to somebody, Earl of W. Okay. Now in the next scene, means 10th scene, Master gave John his hand, but he didn't speak, and they both left the stable. Like it is a situation when Master gave John his hand, means they shook hand and they didn't speak to each other. So now you could imagine that this is a situation that they are emotionally, means they are totally emotional, and they even can't speak to each other. So it is situation of their emotionality. Okay. In the 11th scene, the last sad day, means the day is very sad, and I could say, means they are very sad that day, and it is very, you could say, emotional day for them. And what happens? Goodbye again, he said, and we shall not forget any of you. And he got in drive on John. So it is a situation that Master leaves the things and asks John to drive on, and says goodbye to the things, and he just assumes that they are not going to meet again. In the next scene, when we reached the railway station, I think Mistress walked from the carriage to the waiting room. Means now they have reached the railway station, where Mistress walks from means comes down from the carriage, and could say walks towards the waiting room, the guest room. I heard her say in her own sweet voice, "Goodbye, John. God bless you." So it is a situation when Mistress, means Mistress Gordon, says goodbye to John and praise him. Okay. In the last, not last, second last, it is the 13th scene, where very soon the train came puffing up into the stations. Means now the situation is means in this part, in this scene, the train is coming and is looming far from the areas, okay, towards the station. When it was quite out of sight, means now the train has left, taken Master, could say, Master Gordon and Mistress Gordon, and that way, means when they are out of the sight, John left the station and came back home. We shall never see her again. Means it is a situation that they feel said John means John said that means we won't be able to see Mistress Gordon now. Never. He took the reins. Reins means the source of riding the horses. So that known as reins. Okay, and it works like a steering of a car. Mounted the box and with jaw drove slowly home, but it was not our home now. Now they don't feel that much comfortable, that much happy at that house, at that park, as they were happy with Squire Gordon and Mistress Gordon. Now the things are totally changed. Thank you so much. I believe you got the things. Anyway, it totally talks about the emotional situation of their parting. They left the house, means the selling of the things. So it is all about this. That's why it is emotional. That's why it is titled as parting. Parting means getting separated. Okay, and that's all. Thank you so much.